Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Well, hello, folks. This is Hal Coleman, and I'm here with my co-host, Mike Stewart, and welcome to another episode of PestControlMarketing.live, the only live streaming internet TV show totally dedicated to you, the PCOs and the WCOs of this country and of this world, to help you learn how to easily get more new customers, increase your sales, grow your business, make more money, and be more successful. So there, how's that for a pitch?
Oh, that's
What we do.
right. That's right on. That's so true.
Yeah, how you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great. I've had a good weekend. We had some really nice temperature this week in Nashville. It was got up to 80 degrees. Went up to the lake and worked on some music and just had a really nice weekend. Really, really good time.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we did a little deer hunting this weekend. I did with my son. We weren't successful, but that's okay. We were successful just because we were out there together sharing the great outdoors, you know. And then, of course, UGA lost the game Saturday, so that was a bad deal. But, life goes on.
Yeah. Well, today it's just me and you. I've got a little subject we're going to talk about, but one of the things I thought we would start this podcast is that we're coming to the close of the year. It's soon going to be the holidays. We have to admit this has probably been one of the strangest years in my lifetime. I don't know about how you feel,
man. 2020. I wrote a song about it. 2020 called Today's News.
Oh,
I might have sent it to you. I don't know, but
maybe I ought to post that up in the Facebook or put a link to the YouTube on it. Or
it's already. I posted it on Facebook. Yeah, I got.
I mean, in the Pest Control Marketing Gold group.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's just we came into 2020 with a lot of expectations. You and I had goals that we wanted to do, and one of the things that we were lucky enough to do is that around Thanksgiving of last year, we started telling folks about our live event, which is the Next Level PCO Marketing.com. I think I misspelled it. That's right. No, Next Level PCO Marketing.com event. We had it in Atlanta. Very successful event. We made some changes. I think one of the most exciting things that came out of that event is we met Quincy and Vernon from Harpoon Pest Solutions, and those guys were like telling us stories that just broke my heart, and we turned that around this year. So it was an exciting event, and we started talking about, we're going to do it again next year. Now that's how we thought last February, or this past February 2020, and lo and behold,
we said we're going to do it again next year unless something like a virus comes along and shuts the country down,
Yeah, well, I wish you were that prophetic, but I don't remember you saying it. I remember you saying, we'll see you next year. Well,
yeah.
And, so anyway, one of the things that I want to talk about is, because of my experience on the internet, I've been doing a lot with virtual events. So this year, be sure to check out Next Level PCO Marketing because it's going to be a virtual event. And also check out PestControlMarketingGold.com. There's going to be a great opportunity to work virtually and learn a whole lot of things. So I just want to kind of give a little announcement of what we're planning for hopefully a better 2021 than 2020's. But it's interesting. Our pest control operators have been an essential business. I'm glad we weren't, sadly, for the movie theater marketing.
Bars and restaurants. Yeah.
Bars. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that were deemed non-essential. They were shut down and people are scared to go to them. But one of the things that's happened in the pest control world is that people are home, people are on their computers, people are using their mobile devices, and they're finding bugs and rodents because they're home. And so I think I don't really know of any of our clients that we have direct conversations with that have said, "Whoa, this has been the worst year that I can remember in a long time." No, they're all. Hopefully, all of you guys are just busier than you've ever been.
Yeah, we had Daniel on a few weeks ago, and he said, when the coronavirus first started, I had 6 employees, and he said, now I've got 12 employees.
So, well,
So
that tells you that
but it was scary in the very beginning, when people shut down. They didn't want PCOs coming out to their homes, on their property. Nobody knew, what was going to happen. So they said, no, I don't want anybody coming out here right now. It was scary there right in the beginning, but then people decided, the bug population seems to be increasing, so maybe I better have them out here. And people kind of let their hair down a little bit and realize that it's okay to come on somebody's property, and things.
Well, yeah, and
I
think a lot of the pest control operators and the folks that hopefully listen to our show, they adapted to address the concerns of the homeowner that, look, I'm going to be safe. Majority of things I can do from the outside without even coming in your home.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to wear gloves, booties, wear a mask, stay social distance from you while I'm treating your home, because pandemic or not, nobody wants to live with pestilence. Nobody.
Yeah, I can get that groundhog out from under your front porch without coming inside and without disturbing your indoor living environment. And so, yes, and I'm so glad that we are blessed and that with the industry, we're, pest control, wildlife control, other home service industries, roofers, plumbers, electricians, we're about as recession proof as you can get. If no matter what era you live in, Mike, I don't care if it was 40 years ago or 20 years from now, somebody's out there telling you that a bad recession is right around the corner. It's upon us. You better panic now, because you're going to lose everything really soon. I mean, you just hear that. So, the economy goes up and down. We have a recession about every 10 years or so to some degree, but pest control, having been in this industry for, 47 years, going on 48 years, notice that we suffer less than most, because if you got termites swarming out of the sheetrock in your dining room, or if you wake up and walk into the kitchen and you see a big rat, the size of a squirrel, jump under the dishwasher, or you hear something at night, or you wake up and there's ants all over your chocolate cake. It doesn't matter what the economy is, you got to get rid of those things.
Right.
If it's raining and all of a sudden water's dripping through the sheetrock and you got to put a pan under it and you've got a leak up there, it doesn't matter what the economy is. You're not going to sit there and let your house rot away. You've got to get some of these things fixed. If the heating and air goes out and it's wintertime or it's August and it goes out, you and I grew up with no heating and air, but today folks can't tolerate that kind of stuff,
Right.
I remember driving to Panama City every summer. It was about a 6-hour drive in the middle of June with the car, and that would be my parents and me and my best friend and my sister and her best friend. So there'd be usually 4 kids and 2 adults and all of our stuff driving down there, no air conditioning, just windows rolled down. We didn't know someday that we would have something called air conditioning,
in a car.
Yeah, in an automobile, no kidding. But yeah, it's a lot of things have changed on the one hand, but on the other, nothing's changed. Still got to communicate with people. We're in a great industry, and it's a people industry. Our whole industry depends on relationships, online and offline. And I think that's some of the stuff you want to talk about today, is how to build more relationships by simply being able to say, "Hey Siri, hey Alexa, get me a pest control guy quick. I just found uh, a bed bug.
I don't know that.
That's it amazes me. I think you want to talk about that some today.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about that here. This is something that one of the things we like to help our listeners and our viewers of the live broadcast. This becomes our podcast. That's why when we talk about visual things, we may be showing some things, and you can always go back and watch the video. But a lot of people like to listen to the podcasts while they're going to work and they're listening to the audio. But let's go ahead, and I want to bring up something that I started getting concerned at. We're very adamant that folks get their Google listing straightened out. But there was a article that I read lately, and there's actually a company here in Nashville that is talking about the future of voice search. There are voice activated technologies. What made the computer work was the fact of the invention of the mouse. The mouse was the way that, and what they called GUI, graphical user interfaces, how human beings were able to interact with computers. And they all agree, all the technology experts, that the future interaction with machines is going to be voice controlled. So it's here today. It's in your phone. It's in your home speakers. It's in your computers. It's in your tablets. And, one of the questions that people have is, why should you optimize for what's called vocal or audio search, local audio search? Well, here are the statistics from 2018, but voice search is used on smart speakers, on cell phones, on computers, all devices, and people use voice assistants for general questions, but mostly they use it to find local businesses, especially cell phones. They'll say, "Hey Siri, give me pest control near me," and I'll actually demo that here in a second. And 50% of the people use voice search right now finding local businesses. 75% of voice search you look vocally for businesses weekly, and 46% of voice search users look for it daily. And that was 2 years ago, and this is going to grow exponentially. So what I wanted to do today was just at least bring an awareness that we're aware of it. We're going to focus on helping our clients with it. But here are the things that you need to remember to optimize your business for voice search. And if you haven't done these things, you should at least pay attention to it. People use a wide variety of devices, but the big four, really, I think it's the big three, is Google voice search, Apple, which is Siri, and then if I say her name, she's listening to me, Alexa, which is a home speaker, and the Google Home speaker. And those,
I'm not sure.
See, she just talked to me because I said
Tell her that we're busy right now, and you'll get back with her later.
Alexa, I'll get back to you in a minute.
Sorry, I don't know that.
There you go. She didn't know it. So, at any rate, these are the things that you need to be aware of. Number one, you need to know the types of local business search. You can optimize a local business for discovery, brand, and knowledge through vocal search queries. So here's number one. And, it made me realize how that we've been focusing on one, but there's really three others that we should start telling our clients because of vocal search to start claiming and optimizing. Number one, when you claim your Google My Business listing, that's what gets you on Google Assistant and Android phones, because Android phones and Google Home devices, Google speakers, and of course, Google itself is all controlled by the Google My Business listing. That's the Google, used to be called Google Places, Google Maps. It's all the same thing. It's where you get reviews, and it's very, very important. And it's about 40% of the search. But the other 60% is divided between Apple Maps. I didn't even really think about it, but Siri results from a voice search approach is not controlled by Google listings, but by Apple Maps listings. And I researched it. It's real simple to submit your business to Apple Maps. And if you haven't, it's a missed opportunity, because if I pull up my iPhone right here,
Yeah, I hate to interrupt you, but let me just clarify something for our listeners about what you just said. If you haven't, it's a missed opportunity. Let me be more blunt. If you haven't, you're losing business day after day, month after month, and you will be year after year. That's what the real bottom line is if you don't do this. You're losing business and you're losing money every single day. There,
Well,
I said it.
well, there you go. I mean, the thing that we try to do is just alert people to the stones to turn over. You know, I mean, leave. What was the old saying? Leave no stone unturned, or
Yeah, leave no stone unturned.
yeah. Well, these are more stones to turn. So if Google My Business is important, Siri, find me a pest control near me.
Here's what I found.
Okay, she's showing me the listings from a verbal command, and it's not one person in Google. That means that the people that are high in Google haven't even gone and submitted their name. It's free. If there is another voice activation search called Cortana on Microsoft, it's not as big, but you have to go and claim and optimize your business in Bing places. Bing has its own database. So if you don't go there and claim it and somebody uses it, they're going to find your competition or somebody else. And this is the one that I didn't realize. You have to go in and claim and optimize your Yelp business listing, or you won't get found on Alexa. And so that's 4 places. We've been talking for years about, Google this, Google, Google. Well, Google is the big dog, but just to show you, I'm going to hold in the camera here. People can't see it on the podcast, but this is called an Alexa dot. Alexa, find a pest control near me.
I found a Homes Pest Control. It is 4.3 miles away on Lake Drive in Hermitage. It is open until later today at 5 p.m.
Now you just saw, I just talked to a computer, and the result it gave me is the fact that every other pest control operator within a mile of me hasn't submitted to Yelp. That guy did. So he is the only listing in my area that this device knows to bring up.
Well, this could be definitely a major thing for a small business or a big business, but this is a little overwhelming for some people, I think. Is this something that you could do for them?
Well, that's something that I'm going to do, but I'm making you aware that here's the essence of today's discussion. More and more people are talking to their devices to find businesses. That includes you as a pest control owner. There's not just one size fits all. You need to be, as Gary Vaynerchuk says, you need to be everywhere. So if it doesn't cost anything except going and claiming the business in these listing directories, Google, Apple, Bing, and Yelp, the big 4, then if you can't figure out how to do it yourself, yes, call me at 770-826-3662 and we'll evaluate it and we'll figure out how to make it happen. But my point of today is there's always things you need to be aware of, and voice search, according to, and in fact, I'll tell you a link of some research I did. There is a company called localmarketinginstitute.com, and they have an article that we're going to post here on the website, local voice search steps. So at any rate, my point is today was to say, be thinking about these things, because there's a 1,000 little things that can, when they all add up, they add up to a lot. And these are just little things that we shouldn't ignore. Like another thing you shouldn't ignore is the fact that we're brought to you by Hal Coleman's coaching program. So we'll be back right here after a word from our sponsor, Hal Coleman.
Hey folks, it's Hal here, and I want to tell you about my personal coaching program designed specifically for PCOs and WCOs who want to grow their businesses faster, easier, and build more value and wealth for your future retirement. To find out more, simply give me a call at 770-993-0004, and I'll treat you to a free 1-hour coaching session so you can see for yourself what I do and how I can help you. There's no obligation and no strings attached.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
You know, I'd like to add something to that commercial, Mike, because a lot of people think, well, if I just knew the things to do to get my business going, you know, that's what it's all about, learning new things and implementing new things. But another big key is identifying the obstacles that are in front of you. You know, with a lot of my clients, we identify right off some limiting belief or limiting factors. That it doesn't matter how many new things you learn or how many new strategies or tips or techniques you practice. If you don't get the obstacle out of the way or the barrier out of the way, you're never going to be able to move forward. So it's like, you know, you're going to get a great vacation, you know, but if your car won't crank, you're not going anywhere. And so that's a big part of it is helping identify. And sometimes if people are just really surprised at something that I had no idea that was the wrong way or the wrong approach. And so it's all about getting this straightened out up here in your head, you know, correcting negative thinking or simply inaccurate thinking. It may not necessarily be negative, but it's inaccurate. But it's all about the way you think sometimes. And we really zero in on that in that 1-hour session too.
Yeah, I want to remind folks there's a whole lot of free things that we do for the pest control community, and you know, I've got a web address up there, and Hal, you can show it. It's howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com. This is Hal's book that we've actually had comments of people saying that they have made profits, they've increased their revenues.
There's a lot of testimonials here just on the back of the book.
Yeah,
hard to show them here, but anyway.
So just go there. You know, our podcast, our live stream, our TV show, Hal's book, all of these things are free, whether you do business with us or not. But
FREE.
Yes,
yes,
but
no strings attached.
The value of working with somebody is another set of eyes. You know, sometimes we all are guilty of working in our businesses, but we're not working on our businesses. And when you have another set of eyes that's not in your business with all the day-to-day distractions and frustrations, we may see something that you don't see. And then, you know, our business is marketing. That's why I try to stay around mentors and ask questions and learn and go to events, now a lot of virtual events. And you know, you're constantly trying to learn, and we can bring that information to you. So Hal will do a free call with you anytime. There's Hal's phone number, 770-993-0004. Give us a call and let's just get to know each other. That's the only way you're going to know, like, and trust us. There I am. That's my main website, mikestewart.live, 770-826-3662. You know, we want to hear from you. And if it makes sense, maybe we'll do business. But if not, take our free stuff. And if it makes a difference in your business, that's what we're here today. So anyway, today's subject was, I'm showing it on the camera right now. That is Amazon Alexa. Alexa, where is a pizza place?
I found a few pizza shops. There's Sal's Pizza, 2.8 miles away on Stewart's Ferry Pike.
See, I'm just saying.
4.4 miles away on Murfreesboro.
Thank you, Alexa. Stop.
Pizza, 6.1 miles away.
Oh, here's another great use of it. If you have an Alexa.
Ask me for things like, what's the phone number for
Alexa,
one?
Play the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Playing Pest Control Marketing Podcast from Amazon Music. Playing the latest episode. Content creation for PCO with guest Kobe of Kobe's Pest Control Tampa.
993.
Alexa, be quiet. I'm just telling you, voice command.
Hey Siri, where's a 10-point buck really close to my house on some property that I could get permission to hunt on?
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say that?
I knew she wouldn't help me.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know,
anyway,
I want to back up a minute too, Mike. Something that we just talked about the coaching, and you know, there's something that we talked about in the past that Napoleon Hill referred to as hypnotic rhythms. These are rhythms that we get into in our lives that control us totally, and it's okay because we don't have to think about those things. It's just like when you get up in the morning, most people get up in the morning, they go to the bathroom, they brush their teeth, they take a shower, they shave, they comb their hair, and they get dressed. And they do it in the exact same order every day. It's always exactly the same. That's a hypnotic rhythm. You don't have to think about it because you just do it. You don't think about any of that stuff. You just do it. And so that's the way we get in our work and in our lives is we get into hypnotic rhythms. And an example of this is, you know, let's say you have 4 guys who play golf together every Saturday morning. They're a foursome and they play golf and they're all weekend golfers. You know, they're not very good, but they keep hoping that they're going to get better next week. And it's like a guy told me once, he said, you know, I can play a lot better than this. I just never have. So it's like you keep hoping you're going to get better and next week will be better and you'll have this slice figured out, but it never happens because you keep doing it exactly the same way. And to do anything different, to come out of a hypnotic rhythm is very uncomfortable. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel right. So people get back into the comfort zone. I was actually playing golf with some guys at a golf tournament a couple of years ago, and one of the guys had a bad hook. He was just hooking the ball every time he hit it. You know, I don't know how many he hit in the lake. He hit in with just hooking the ball. And I used to have a problem doing that too. And I had some golf lessons, and the golf instructor, you know, when you have a golf lesson, they take you in there and they say, okay, go ahead and hit a few balls. So you go ahead, you hit a few balls, and they say, okay, stop. Now come in here. And you go and you sit down, they pull you up on the screen and they start showing the lines and everything. And they say, you see what you're doing here? So you look at yourself swinging and you say, see how this is out of a line? See how your hip is shifting over? See how your right leg, your right knee wasn't planted? See how your left foot didn't come up off of the mat? You know, so they look, you're able to see all of your flaws and understand. And then you go back out and you practice correcting those things. Mm-hmm. So I had a bad hook, and she showed me how to take my right arm and rotate it over. He just took said, rotate your wrist over, and that'll make the club head, you know, shift, and your ball will go straight. So I did it. It felt really awkward, but when I hit the ball, it didn't hook. It went straight. I said, oh, that feels really weird. He said, well, I know it does because you're not used to it, but just practice it. And he said, after a while, it won't feel weird. It'll feel natural. It'll feel weird to do it the old way if you go back. So I practiced it, and I did away with that hook. So I was playing golf with this guy, and he was just hooking the ball all day long. I don't know how many golf balls he lost. He was hooking them. And I finally, you know, I said, you know, I used to have that same problem. And I said, golf instructor told me what to do to correct it. And he said, well, I wish you'd tell me. So, you know, you don't really want to give people advice out on the golf course contrary to what some golfers believe. But I said, well, if you want to know, I'll show you. He said, yeah. So I went over to him. I said, rotate your hand over this way, and it'll make that ball come back around. So he did, and he hit it, and it went straight. And I said, see there? He said, wow, that's amazing. So the next time we got to a tee, he hit it and it hooked. I said, well, you need to rotate your hand over. He said, I know, that feels weird, man. He said, it just doesn't feel right. I'm like, what? He said, so he continued to hook the ball for the rest of the day because he was into this hypnotic rhythm of doing what was comfortable, doing what felt natural. And it was it's the old saying, you keep doing it the same way, you're going to keep getting the same result. Yeah. So if your business is growing at 5% a year or 10% a year or 15% a year, and you keep doing what you're doing now, that's about the growth that you'll achieve. But if you will make some changes and get out of your comfort zone and be willing to adjust some things in your language and your messaging, both written and verbal, maybe make a few changes to your website, you can get that from 15% up to 20% or 25 or 30 or 40 or 50%. We've had clients that grow their business 40 or 50% a year by simply making some changes that they're really not comfortable with in the beginning, but then they see the results and they get real comfortable with it. So that's what coaching is all about. It's standing back, looking at you from the outside, taking a picture of what you're doing now and showing you where you need to make some adjustments and what will happen if you make those adjustments. But just like with golf, if you don't go out and if you don't put it into practice, then it's not going to happen. You know, I've said before, there's no medication called Change-It-All that will change it all. Okay, there is not one.
Well, I've heard these old adages, and they're worth repeating. The definition of insanity is doing the same things, expecting different results. And all the success mentors of mine say, do what you fear, do what's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, be willing to change. And I don't know any successful business person online that I've ever met that either didn't have a coach or a mentor of some type. And you know, and of course, there's a new concept, not a new concept on the internet, but it's a concept that we're doing, is that when you make enough of you available for free, then you build the relationship. You know, in fact, we did a whole podcast on the power of giving away free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we practice what we preach. And that's what this is all about. We're sharing our experience. We're sharing hopefully things that maybe you haven't thought about. And, you know, yes, it's uncomfortable to take the time to learn some things to do. You know, we've had people, you know, be adamant. I don't want to do videos. I don't want to get in front of the camera. I don't want to send letters. I don't want to knock on doors. I don't want to do everything you suggest. Well, that's getting back to, why don't you want to do it? Because it's uncomfortable. And,
that's right.
And so you've got to get past that.
Well, you got me, Pat. You were my mentor. You still are my mentor. But in the early days, you know, right after Al Gore invented the internet, and you found out about it and started checking it out, you know, was I in a hypnotic rhythm back in those days?
Yeah, you had a lot of statements that I don't know that need to be repeated
about computers and the internet,
and that you were adamant that you've done just fine without them and you don't need them, and then now you've seen the benefits of learning what you need to know. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know what to do. You have to make a decision. What are you going to do yourself, and what are you going to outsource? You know, what are you going to pay somebody else to do? You know, I don't hire a chauffeur, but I do hire somebody to fix my engine. You know, I mean, I know when it comes to driving a car, what I'm willing to do. And you just got to make those decisions too.
I don't paint my own house.
Hmm?
I don't paint my own house, although I could. I don't do painting. I did yard work for up until about 4 years ago. And I finally dealing with mowers and gasoline and cleanup and all this stuff that goes along with it. One day I saw the yard guy doing my next door neighbor's yard, and I asked him what he would charge me to do mine. And when he told me, I was like, holy smokes, I spend more than that on my lawnmower every year. So I don't do that anymore. And after turning it over to somebody, I'm realizing it was the best money I ever spent in my life. But yeah, there are do-it-yourselfers who are very successful at what they do, and they save a lot of money. And there's some people will spend a lot of time trying to save a little bit of money, and other people like me will spend a lot of money trying to save time, because I realize, if my house burns down and everything you see here, if I lose it all, my business, my office, I can get another house. If I total my car, I can get another car. If my shoes wear out, I can get another pair of shoes, but I can never, ever get back the 15 seconds that it told me to tell you that. That time is gone forever. So I cherish time doing what I enjoy doing, time with my family, time with my friends, time like doing what we're doing right now, which a lot of people think that we're doing business right now, but we're not. We're just having fun like we've been doing for over 40 years together, hanging out. And so everybody's different. Having a coach or hiring a business mentor, that's up to the individual. Some people can read a karate book and end up practicing for hours a day what they read and becoming pretty good. But other people like me would require just let me hire karate. Let me go to the karate gym and every Tuesday night from 7 to 9, and I'll learn karate a lot quicker than I will from a book. So some people are self-starters, some are not. Some hold themselves accountable, some don't. Some need a kick in the butt to get moving forward, some don't. So it's all up to the individual, but we're here if anybody needs us, and we're a phone call away at all times. We're both accessible. I don't have people answering my phones for me. I answer it myself. If you work with me, you call me, you're going to talk to me. I'm not going to say, well, I'm turning you over to Fred Johnson. He's one of my coaches and he's going to be working with you. I don't do that. You work with me, you're going to work with me 100% of the time, unless you may have to work with Mike also to accomplish something that we want to do. But I don't have subordinates or underlings that I turn you over to. You work with me, you work with me, and you're going to be happy, or you're not going to have to pay. So that's the bottom line. Don't be afraid to give us a call, because in that 1 hour, we'll introduce you to the program, let you know what it's all about. And I actually send a questionnaire out for you to fill out ahead of time before we spend our hour together, so that I know all the things I need to know about your business, your marketing, your advertising, your messaging, and your business growth and all of these things. So when we spend our hour together, I don't have to spend the whole hour asking you all these questions. I'll already know the answers to them. I will have already made notes and done some homework and put some time in, so that I can send you away with some real light bulbs going off in your head, and some real direction there to show you how to go out and double your business faster than you ever would otherwise. And that 1 hour, won't cost you a penny. There's no obligation whatsoever. I just want to get to know you and help you. And if my coaching program is something that you're interested in pursuing, I can tell you all about that too. And if you don't want to know about it, we won't even talk about it. So there you go. Give me a call at 770-993-0004 and let's talk.
Well, Hal, I'll tell you what, I'm going to wind this show up because we're at the 40-minute mark, and I got 3 things I want to say, and then this will be it. Number 1, get Hal's book at howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com. It's absolutely free. Be on the watch out for our group coaching program called pestcontrolmarketinggold.com. look for a virtual event in February. We're going to be in the planning stages of it, but I'm planting the seed, Next Level PCO Marketing. And today's episode was about the vocal search for your business. So here I'm going to let Alexa, tell us a joke.
I wonder what Baby Yoda's first word will be. It'll probably come after his second word.
And as you can see, she's not a comedian. So with that being said, goodbye, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Getting close to the Thanksgiving season and the holiday season. So be sure to check us out then. Send us your questions. Give us a call. Everybody have a great day. Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.